Right now at 5, it turns into the Oaks Day race for shelter as a severe thunderstorm moves over Churchill Downs 1 hour ago. Heavy rains and high winds as the track tells fans to shelter in place. Our crews at the track covering the mad dash to stay dry and safe as the track does plan to restart racing and the Kentucky Oaks.
And right now we want to show you the live look at the aftermath of that big storm in the area. There's been a lot of rain and high winds that we saw when it went over Churchill Downs. That rain came down in a torrential amount, Doug.
Can you imagine there what the track's like? Winds up to 60 miles an hour. Churchill Downs holding off in the Oaks race, but Connie just 4 minutes ago, putting out on social media that the Oaks will now go off at 6 p.m. tonight. It was scheduled to go off at 5:51. Moving just a few minutes. So severe weather is now the big story on this Oaks Day. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. Yeah, the track is sloppy. I saw someone post just a few minutes ago. We'll see if that lasts, but let's get the latest right now from meteorologist Matt Breland, and John Gordon will join him in just a minute.
That's right, you guys. Yeah, we definitely saw quite the dramatic weather situation the last hour across Louisville Metro and Churchill Downs, but now we're starting to see things definitely ease up. There's still some light showers lingering around with us, and as we go further on into our afternoon time, we're still going to have cloudy skies, and a secondary line of showers will be arriving too later on into the evening, but this will be nowhere near as intense as we just saw earlier. I do want to mention we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for some of our counties: Henry County, Oldham County, and Shelby County. You guys are under that severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15 p.m. as that storm continues to make its way further towards the northeast around 35 miles per hour. Strong winds associated with this storm. We recently saw some winds gusting up to 34 miles per hour just near LaGrange, but earlier we saw some winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour within the storm. So definitely could see some damage from tree limbs falling down or possibly some minor damage to some of the homes out there. But here's how things look as we go further on into our evening time. As I mentioned, past 5 p.m. later on, closer in between 6 and 7, we are expecting a secondary line of just rain showers to arrive into Kentuckiana. This is going to include some small possibilities of a few rumbles of thunder, but otherwise this is not looking nearly as intense as that first line of thunderstorms that we saw in this last hour. This pattern will trend until about the later parts of the 7 p.m. hour. I'm expecting 8 p.m. to bring in more quiet conditions. We'll be left behind with mostly cloudy skies by 8 p.m. as we head later on into our nighttime hours. We are going to continue to stay cloudy. And then on Derby Day, the morning of Derby Day, expect rain showers to become more and more widespread as the hours go on. Heavy rain showers will be possible just as we head into those later hours. And to help me out with that forecast regarding Derby, I've got meteorologist John Gordon here joining us in the studio. He's going to chat more about those Derby details. John?
All right, we'll be getting to John in just a second. Thank you very much, Matt. We've got team coverage for you on this stormy Oaks Day.
We sure do. We begin with Isaiah Kim Martinez, where we've learned from Churchill no injuries in that race to get out of the storm. Right, Isaiah?
Severe weather approaching. That is what we're seeing on the video boards here at Churchill Downs, and the people are taking cover. Some are headed to the gates. Some are going to a nearby stairwell. We've seen plenty of folks in ponchos right now. They've heard the warnings. Many of them heard glass shattering from some of the food tents that they have. Some heard some trash cans falling over. We saw that. We saw people, the chaos of them basically running in 2 different directions. The big question here, a lot of these folks, are they going to stay?
So I just saw stuff flying. I didn't hear anything. Everything just started flying in our tents. So we closed them the best as we can, and we took off running to take shelter.
Kind of panic mode at first, like where's everybody going? What is everybody going to do? But just kind of, I guess, find your group and, find your shelter. And
we're trying to find somewhere just to take shelter. We're so far from our car.
Yeah, it's bad out here. The whole the bedding station, it was all blown down. I didn't know what was going to go on. It's crazy.
We heard the PA say, listen, racing will resume after the weather comes through, but we know at least till 4:45, potentially later, and this is actually, we're just past 5 o'clock here. It's going to be a wait and see game right now, so it could be a while. That's the bottom line. Again, one more shot of folks heading over to the gates. Again, this is something that we knew was a possibility, but ultimately people did not want to see happen. So right now people are taking cover. They're being told to seek shelter and basically waiting to see if conditions improve by post time at 5:51. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, Isaiah, thank you so much. And as long as the storm is out of here, though, they will resume racing.
Right. We want to emphasize, so far we asked authorities there at Churchill Downs. They're saying no reports of any injuries. But again, the Kentucky Oaks now set to go off at 6 o'clock. Just a 9-minute delay in the end.
Yeah, that's not much at all. We want to bring in John Gordon, of course, formerly with the National Weather Service, who's working with us now. And John, talk about what race fans can expect as the day goes on out there.
Yes, sloppy track.
Yeah.
The rain has moved out, but there is more rain down by Bowling Green. So I would say there's a 30-40% chance at race time. Most of it should be dry, sloppy. I hope you get your right horse.
John, you have a National Weather Service meteorologist contacts out there. You used to run the local office here. They're on the scene at Churchill Downs. What were you hearing as this was coming in? The track had a good plan for shelter.
Yeah, they work with the safety folks. They bring up the information. They give them updates every 10 minutes, and then Churchill Downs makes the decision. They make the decision. So my guys are there. They're supporting all the law enforcement. The Secret Service is here. Everyone you could think of on the earth is here, and they're briefing them every 10 minutes when the active weather comes in.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sean. Well, a horse that actually likes to run in the mud is the favorite, by the way. Good Cheer, trained by Louisville native Brad Cox.
Well, as the weather is now improving over Churchill Downs, our Sarandon Raboyne caught up with the trainer and the horse that he hopes takes it all. So again, the Oaks race now going off at 6 p.m., just a 9-minute delay. The post positions for the Oaks race. Also, we want to let you know that 5G scratched going out of post position number 8.
All right. And do you have a pick for the Oaks?
Well, now with the sloppy track, I think it's all up in the air.
Well, I think the horse, Good Cheer, won by 17 lengths during a sloppy track. So I'm going to have to go that route.
I'm going with the veteran Connie Leonard pick here. Why not? Well, a lot of very race fans are going to be heading next to those Derby Eve galas. The WHS 11 night team is covering Barnstable Brown and Unbridled Eve on this washout of the Oaks. I'll see you with live coverage and our team of reporters, Jose Alonso and Alex Dieterer. As the parties move on, it's on the night team tonight at 11 o'clock.
All right, in other news, Louisville's ATF announced its interruption of a guns for drugs trafficking scheme here in the city. Several non-citizens were indicted for swapping the guns for cocaine in Mexico, cocaine that was eventually sold right here. Ian Hardwick explains how it all started with an LMPD investigation.
There's a war going on in Mexico, and these are outfitting those troops, right? Those cartels, those terrorist members.
ATF Special Agent in Charge John Noakes said 14 people were indicted for trafficking these guns, nearly 60 guns in total. They were either bought or stolen in Louisville and bound for Mexico. Those purchases, he said, were straw purchases, which means the guns were bought legally but given away illegally to non-citizens.
You know, the firearm culture here is a little more lax than some places. So it's easier for certain cartel members and straws to go and get their hands on firearms.
In exchange, cocaine was brought back into the city, says DEA Louisville Special Agent in Charge Jim Scott.
To date, this investigation has led to the seizure of 62 kilograms of cocaine.
They worked under a federal organized crime drug enforcement task force. LMPD's part of it and tipped off the feds.
The larger investigation began last February when LMPD had its own investigation here on Lentz Avenue for a non-fatal shooting. As a result of that, officers found 43 guns here in a home. They say 4 of those were stolen, and the ATF added that some of those guns were used in other shootings around the city as well.
They credit cooperation for stopping this group with ties to the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel. In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11 on your side.
Insisted more will be coming. Well, a 2-minute Facebook video that busted 5 people for shoplifting at a Louisville Walgreens has people outraged tonight.
Incredible video. It's very brazen as the video captures by a Facebook user right in the store showing a suspect bagging everything in sight at the Walgreens on Faganbush Lane in Highview. Alexandra Goldberg talked to the customers today outside the store.
This guy is loading up and just stealing. Look at this. Caught on camera, suspect Tyler Haney filling up a duffel bag with anything in sight. It happened at the Walgreens on Feggenbush Lane.
I can't believe this.
Captured in a viral Facebook video posted by Sean Peoples on April 22nd.
He's just loading up everything he possibly can
You hear him speaking.
and taking.
Next,
Oh, there he is.
he throws on his bag and heads to the exit, taking anything in his path right along with him.
He is loading up everything he possibly can.
You can see right here, he walks through the doors and into this car before they take off. According to a police citation, the subject seen in the video walked out of these doors into the parking lot to a black Honda Accord. The police citation says that detectives later learned that the goods they got from Walgreens were later sold for profit. Haney, with 4 others, were arrested by Louisville Metro Police on April 30th. He was charged with theft by unlawful taking $1,000 or more and engaging in organized crime. LMPD say police also towed 3 of their vehicles, including that black Honda caught on camera.
I thought, oh my gosh, thank you.
That's a longtime Feggenbush Lane Walgreens shopper reacting to the 5 arrests.
The world has gone insane.
She wanted to remain anonymous, but watching the video, she said it struck a chord.
I don't know if they realize it drives up the prices of your product. You have nothing on the shelf for anybody else to get.
It's a safety issue as well, because you never know what people like that are going to do. If they're willing to do that, they're willing to do other things.
Because Leanna Brady, who owns Highview Barber Shop just down the street, said these crimes have community consequences.
I'm so tired of seeing people do this kind of thing and just get away with it, and I think it needs to stop.
This viral video, toys, makeup, and more being thrown into a bag, all caught on camera, resulting in a theft bust. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side.
And the co-defendants in the case are William Helfenstein, Kelly Hendricks, Chelsea Weiland, and Keith Reed.
Happening today, it's day 1 of the big auction in French Lick, Indiana, to restore some money to the taxpayers of Clark County. This auction featuring 43 cars from Jamie Knowles' car collection, which are court-ordered to be sold for his restitution. About half of the cars will be sold today, and you can bid online across state lines. Terry Morgan of Morgan's Auto was asked by Judge Larry Medlock to refurbish these cars as they got ready to put them on the auction block. Well, they got almost all of them running, and there were some cars made before 1940. Morgan says it was a pleasure to get money back for the taxpayers.
The judge, the state police, nobody called and questioned, hey, how you doing, how you coming along? Because they knew that when they asked us to do this, we was going to get it done. They knew that it wouldn't be no problem. No, we didn't have no problem with that. We did have a lot of people, nosy people that want to know, you know, and where we had them stored at, we had a lot of people want to look at them, wanted to buy them before they got to the auction.
Well, the auction started with the small items, and the cars and motorcycles started at 2. The 2 highest pre-bid cars, Knowles Superbirds. They will sell tomorrow. Stay with us tonight at 6. Travis Breeze is at the auction. A full report from him coming right up.
All right, now we want to go back to that story about the Oaks favorite, Good Cheer, trained by Louisville native Brad Cox.
Once again, the Oaks race going off at 6 o'clock tonight after a 9-minute delay. Sarandon Raboyne caught up with the trainer and the horse that he hopes takes it all.
The Kentucky Oaks will not start at 5:51 this year. Racing was delayed at Churchill Downs due to severe weather earlier today. Usually it's thundering horses coming around the track, and today it was thunder and lightning, but Good Cheer is still the expected favorite to win the Garland of Lilies, and her trainer, Brad Cox, has this to say about his filly.
She's really good.
That's definitely an understatement. The filly is undefeated through 6 races.
I think it just adds a little pressure. I'm not certain if it helps her race day or not. I mean, obviously she knows how to win, so that's important. But proud of the position she's put us in, and she's a good filly.
Is there more pressure for her to win, or is there more pressure for someone else to beat you?
I say it's more pressure for her to win that we feel as a barn or as a team.
Well, it's an undefeated horse and deserving favorite, and anytime you are running in a race of this magnitude against an undefeated horse, you're going to have your work cut out for you. So she's going to be a tough one to beat, but you got to beat everybody in the field.
But if you're not convinced to bet on the favorite, Cox explains why he likes Good Cheer in the race for the Lilies.
Look, she's super classy. She's easy to deal with. She's 3 for 3 here at Churchill. A lot of positive things going for her, and it's a big field. Obviously, we face 13 other good fillies. We just have to work out a good trip, and if she does, I think she'll be able to handle the mile and an eighth.
Cox has won the Kentucky Oaks 2 times before, once with Monomoy Girl and once with She Dares the Devil. Will Good Cheer make it a lucky 3? We'll see later today. Reporting at Churchill Downs, I'm Serena Roboyne, WHAS 11 on your side.